Christmas came early this year. How did it, you ask? Well, Bungie gave us a new twab of a series of 3 twabs of Sandbox changes. With this one being about abilities, with a feature everyone was kinda, no wait, literally probably wanted for years. Hello, this is Dark Toaster Ghost here, and the twabs come out. So, it's my time, like everyone has, and their grandma. I'm here to give the new information that came in the twab. The new ability changes to one feature that will be talked about soon, and finally some stasis unlocking changes. Buckle in, grab some food and water, also use the timestamp in the pinned comment and in the description to get any specific information, because this is a long twab. Before we get into the changes, Joe Blackburn, the assistant game director, talked about on Twitter their plan for PvP in the future. Just a summarization. They just have a plan with new maps and game modes starting next year. Read it for full detail. It's not the worst or the best news in my opinion, but I'm no PvP player, so see it and think about it how you want to think about it. Now this change, though, it said everyone was probably wanting, doing your own separate melee actions. We have all played Destiny 2. We wanted to do our knife as a hunter, but accidentally just hit a cursed throw with the whole squad making us look like dumb titans who forgot their crayons. Your base melee is called an auto melee, which is separately binded from your charged melee. This is an opt-in thing, so you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. Extra notes that melee attacks happen when the button is hit. Controller players need some creative ways to bind both melees if you assign the same button. They'll prioritize the charge melee. Here's the instruction manual to assigning the binds, featuring text-to-speech person.
To use these new actions on keyboard mouse, open the settings menu, click on keyboard mouse, scroll down to charged melee and uncharged melee, and assign them to an input. To use these new actions on the controller, open the settings menu, go to controller button layout custom, scroll down to charged melee and uncharged melee, and assign them to an input. We hope you enjoy this new functionality, and we hope it saves your bacon from time to time.
Now let's actually get into the meat and potatoes of the twab. Getting into the meat and potatoes, I have a simple task for you. The task is to subscribe to my channel. It's free, can be done with the press of a button in all different places. Pause the video now, and you can do it. Now here's the meat and potatoes of the video. The new ability changes are here, and there's a good amount of them. First, freezes won't be any more annoying if you're airborne, and with shotguns, sliding gives more spread and flinch with less stability. Now Titans, the rally barricade gets plus 30 stability, plus 10% range, and minus 50% flinch. With all barricades, people moving at high velocity will take more damage. It still won't kill you, but leave you with a tiny sliver of health. The Behemoth Titan Cryoclasm, equipped with the base slide, will break stasis crystals and frozen enemies, and increase the duration of the FX screen notifying the Cryoclasm slide is ready from 1 second to 4.5 seconds. Silver Strike has 25% more movement speed and fixed a bug with Whisper of Rhyme where it was scaling persistent damage incorrectly. Middle Tree Sunbreaker has increased time for their hammer from 6.5 seconds to 10 seconds and does more damage to powerful PvE opponents. Top and bottom tree striker have increased slam radius by 14%, reduced slam fall off, and reduced slam activation cost from 21% to 18%. Middle tree striker's inertia override increased from 4 seconds to 6 seconds. And sliding over an ammo brick gets you 20% melee energy. Top tree sentinel's ward of dawn has increased damage from bosses from 0.25x to 7x at 0 resilience. It can scale down to 0.25x depending on the person's resilience. Hunter's turn now. Darkstrider, we got a handful of changes. Extended passive super from 16 to 20 seconds. Increased the heavy slam radius from 5 to 6 meters. And increased damage to PvE combatants by 30%. For top tree, deadly reach is increased from 8 to 10 seconds. And middle tree's lightning wave can now be triggered by doing damage. And timer can be extended by doing damage with any weapon. For middle tree Night Stalker, they reduced the damage reduction during super from 52% to 47%. And reduced DR when in Viz from plus 5% to plus 3%. Last but not least, the warlocks, and their turn for what they're getting. Reduced shatter pulse damage to close range supers. It now requires 2 freezes and 2 shatters to kill those type of supers, so for example, Titan Striker. For Dawnblade, top tree reduced celestial fire tracking cone angle. It will also shrink over time for its aiming shape. Reduced detonation size by 1 meter damage fall off, increased at short distances. Icarus Dash now provides 1 dash for every 4 seconds, increases to 2 with every 5 seconds with Heat Rising. Heat Rising is increased from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. Increased extension from air kills and your location now appears on the enemy's radar. Middle Tree Dawnblade, there's too much changes for me to robotically speak. So, here, to text-to-speech person.
Well of Radiance. Increased damage taken from bosses from 0.25x rightward arrow 1.5x, at 0 resilience. Damage taken can scale down to 0.25x based on the owner's resilience stat. Note, this refers to the Well of Radiance itself and not players inside the well. Increased damage resistance buff vs. enemy players from 20% to 40%. Players inside Well of Radiance are now immune to stasis freeze and slow. Well sword can now be frozen and shattered by stasis. Guiding flame. Increased duration from 7 seconds to 10 seconds. Increased damage buff from 20% to 25%.
Military storm color. Chaos reaches increased beam environment and collision size to better match collision size with the damage size. Reduce beam damage radius in PvP by 20%. Reduce beam endpoint sphere radius in PvP by 33%. Bombtree storm color. Arc soul is from 12 seconds to now 13 seconds, with a 20% more fire rate. Electrostatic surge will now increase sprint when allies are near, and landfall now fires 5 arc ground projectiles on cast. Nova warp has increased damage versus PvE combatants by 73%. No longer slows movement speed while charging/charge. Now detonates on cast. Handheld supernova increases damage versus PvE combatants by 100%. Increased hold time from 2.5 seconds to 3.2 seconds. Now for stasis powering up, you'll get more on what to do and just reduce some of the quest chain stuff. That's pretty much it. Now that the part that has me sound like a robot has ended, then on to my opinions, where I can be a human. Now my opinions on these things are they're pretty good, and we'll see them when they come out. But there's nothing really stand out to me, because I don't really register this thing, oh, they changed this, that's bad now. Or, they changed that, so that's good now. So my brain's fried from making this video. It was a very hard video to write. I'm actually really hyped for the new melee controls. This was the new Twab that came out this week in a more summarized form. From the new melee controls to the new changes for the subclasses, and finally, the stasis unlocking changes, which was like 2 things. Hope this video informed you about everything in the Twab. You should subscribe since it's free, and a click of a button. So see you next video, go eat your vegetables. Bye.